For centuries, philosophers and theologians have grappled with the question of whether God exists. Some argue that the existence of God can be inferred through reason and observation, while others maintain that belief in God is a matter of faith. However, upon closer examination, many arguments for the existence of God contain logical flaws that render them unconvincing. One common argument for the existence of God is the cosmological argument, which posits that the universe must have had a cause or a first cause, and that this cause must be God. However, this argument contains a logical flaw known as the fallacy of composition, which occurs when one assumes that what is true of a part is true of the whole. Just because everything within the universe has a cause, it does not necessarily follow that the universe as a whole has a cause, or that the cause must be God. According to the theory of quantum mechanics, it is possible for particles to appear spontaneously from the vacuum of space through a process called quantum fluctuations. These fluctuations are always present, even in empty space, and can result in the creation of particle-antiparticle pairs that rapidly annihilate each other. However, under certain conditions, these fluctuations can become amplified and result in the creation of particles that persist and interact with each other. This process is known as vacuum decay, and it has played a role in the formation of the universe by itself. The universe could have emerged from a tiny patch of spacetime that underwent vacuum decay, creating a burst of energy that eventually led to the formation of galaxies and other structures in the universe without the need to creator. Another argument for the existence of God is the teleological argument, which asserts that the complexity and order of the universe imply the existence of a designer or God. However, this argument also contains a logical flaw, known as the argument from ignorance. This occurs when one argues that something is true simply because it has not been proven false. Just because we do not understand the origins of the universe or the complexity of life does not necessarily imply the existence of God. A third argument for the existence of God is the moral argument, which suggests that the existence of moral values and duties requires the existence of a moral lawgiver or God. However, this argument is also subject to criticism, as it begs the question of whether moral values and duties are objective or subjective, and whether they require the existence of God to be meaningful. In addition to these flaws, arguments for the existence of God often rely on unproven assumptions, such as the assumption that the universe has a purpose, or that God is omniscient, omnipotent, and benevolent. These assumptions are often based on religious traditions and beliefs, rather than empirical evidence or logical deduction. In conclusion, while the question of whether God exists remains a topic of debate and discussion, many arguments for the existence of God contain logical flaws that render them unconvincing. As such, the burden of proof remains on those who assert the existence of God, and until they can provide convincing evidence, the question of God's existence must remain an open one.